As I've been taking you with me on my journey to find the perfect Wi-Fi security camera, I seem to keep gravitating towards the solar-powered options. And why not, right? It's a great option. Save the earth and stuff. Well, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about a Wi-Fi security camera with a solar-powered option, this time from Reolink, the Argus Track. Let's get to it. What up, everybody? George Langabeer here. Solar-powered Wi-Fi security cameras. Wave of the future? Definitely the trend right now, as it seems that all these brands are going in that direction. And that's great, right? We're saving the earth, we're eliminating wires, we're not charging batteries. I can definitely deal with all that. I think you can too. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about a battery camera called the Argus Track from Reolink, but you can make it solar with the included solar panel. So we're going to unbox it. We're going to talk price and specs. I'm going to talk the setup and install. I'm going to give you my pros and cons and full review. Let's get started with the unboxing. All right, now that we've unboxed, real quick, I want to thank Reolink for sending me the Argus Track. This is not a sponsored video. They just sent it to me to try out. But whether it's sponsored or they sent it to me, I hope you know by now, I'm always going to tell you like it is. All right, let's talk some setup and install. Setup is easy. You're going to get the Reolink app. You're going to sign up for an account if you haven't already. You're going to take the camera. You're going to plug it in using a USB-C cable. Just grab a charger brick you have laying around. And then you're going to take two little screws off the back cover of the camera. Those screws are very easy to lose, FYI, so be careful with those. Then there's a little switch you're going to turn on. Then you're going to scan a QR code on the camera. You're going to add your Wi-Fi information, and there you go. It's very simple. You can have this camera set up in 5 minutes. The install is also simple. I recommend charging the camera first before you use it with the solar panel, just to make sure you have that full charge. But then you're going to take the camera, you're going to put it on the mounting bracket, and it's just a little quarter turn, and then there's a security screw, very easy to put it on there. I really like this mounting bracket, made it very easy, and I like the look of it as well. And then you've got a couple screws for the mounting bracket, and then a couple screws for the mount for the solar panel, and then you've got a cable from the solar panel to the camera. And once again, just like the setup, you can do this in 5 minutes or less. By the way, if you notice, I installed this camera upside down, and I did that on purpose, because in the app, you can flip this camera vertically and horizontally, which I think is pretty cool. And I wanted to test that out, especially since there's two lenses. So that's why I did that. I do turn it right side up later on in my testing, but just so you know, I did that on purpose. Moving on to price and specs. If you go to the Reolink app, this camera is normally $209.99, currently on sale for 20% off at $167.99. If you go to Amazon, it's currently $199.99, but when you go to checkout, there's a $30 off coupon. All the affiliate links are in the description if you're interested in purchasing this camera. This camera is 4K resolution. That's 8 megapixel of Ultra HD with a wide angle lens. It also has a telephoto lens because it's a dual lens camera, which is 6 times hybrid zoom. It's a pan tilt camera with a 355-degree pan and a 50-degree tilt. You also have auto zoom tracking, so when it sees an object, it will track it, and it does that on both lenses, which is pretty cool. In addition to the pan tilt, you also have 32 preset options, so the camera can go to 32 different positions. It has color night vision with 2 spotlights, and that's up to 50 feet. It also has a black and white night vision option, and that's up to 98 feet, close to 100 feet. This is a dual band Wi-Fi camera, so 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. It has a rechargeable battery, or you can do the solar panel. The solar panel boasts 24 hours of use, which is 10 minutes of charge. And there's no subscription required to use the smart features, which is the smart detection, people, vehicles, and pets, the sound and light alarm, and the two-way audio. You also have free local storage using a micro SD card up to 128 gigs. This camera also has a really cool time-lapse feature. This camera is weatherproof with an operating temperature of 14 degrees Fahrenheit up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's 10% humidity up to 90% humidity. We're going to talk about the Reolink app in more detail in a moment, but just know you have real-time alerts, you have motion zones, you have live view from anywhere in the world, and you have smart and easy playback from anywhere in the world. This camera is compatible with Google Home and Lady A from Amazon. Sadly, no Apple Home. All right, as I said, we're going to talk about the Reolink app in more detail. Let's get to it. The Reolink app is available in the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store. Once you get the app and sign up for a Reolink account and you add your device, here you go, here's your home screen. Now for this particular situation, we're just going to concentrate on camera there at the top left. If you go to those horizontal bars at the top left, you've got some options there. I'm not going to get too into detail there. Those are some very general Reolink options. We're going to concentrate on the camera options. Okay, so let's go ahead and select the camera. It'll load. There you've got your two views. At the top, you've got the wide angle 4K lens, and then at the bottom, you've got your telephoto zoom lens. If you single tap, you've got some options. At the top right, you've got your alarm. You've got your spotlight. You can go to a single view option. And then you've also got your settings wheel. So you can see I'm switching between single view and double view. Down below the image, you've got a pause. You've got your audio as far as the speaker goes. You can take a still picture and you can take a video clip. You press the video clip once, it'll start recording. Press it again, it'll stop. Then at the far right, at the bottom of the image, you've got your full screen arrows. Then below, you can hit talk to talk through the camera. You've got your PT functions, and you can get to playback. Before we get into the actual settings, let me just show you playback real quick. So you've got your date there, you've got all your different events. It has a little icon as to what it was, pet, person, vehicle. And you can scroll, and you can play any of them. So it's very simple as far as playback goes. If you hit that icon in the very bottom left, you can actually filter your footage and just narrow it down to just people, just vehicles, or just pets. Going into the settings icon, again, that's in the top right when you're looking at the image. You've got your camera up there. You've got your battery level. You can click on that. It'll show you some statistics about your battery. You've got your Wi-Fi information. You can go into display. You can flip it horizontally and flip it vertically. Like I said, I was playing with that when I first installed the camera. You can see me doing that here. Pretty cool that you have both options in this particular app. You can go into your stream type, which is clear or fluent. Clear is going to be your full resolution, that 4K, beautiful 4K resolution. You can combat the flicker with anti-flicker. You can do 50 Hertz, 60 Hertz, off or other. You can control your night vision. There you got the black and white, color, or auto. You can control the brightness of the camera. You can control where the camera name shows up on the display. We've got it on the bottom right. You can see it says Argus Track there. You can control where the date is. Top left, top center, top right. Got a lot of different options here as far as the display. You can take the watermark off the camera, which is the Reolink logo. I removed that. You can do a privacy mask if you're worried about your neighbor's privacy. You can also go into brightness and shadows, and you've got some controls there. Going back, if you go into audio, You can control whether or not you're recording audio, toggle that on or off. You can control the volume of the speaker. You can also do a sound test. The light, you can do the status LED, that's on or off. You can do the infrared lights, that's your black and white night vision. You've got control there. You can do auto. You've got your brightness slider, and then you can also toggle it to stay off. There's your spotlight options. You can do night smart mode, automatically turn on when the camera detects an event at night, or you can keep the lights off completely if you feel that it's going to bother your neighbors. You can also control the brightness of the spotlight. Moving on to the PIR motion sensor, there you can turn that on or off, and you can also control the sensitivity. You can set up email alerts. You can toggle on FTP. Here you've got your siren settings. You can control that. If you turn that on, there will be a siren every time it triggers motion. I don't personally recommend that, but you have the option if you want to. You can share the camera, and down below you've got that time-lapse feature. You can actually set up different time-lapse options for different times of day, which is pretty cool. I did the sunrise this morning, and I'm telling you, I really like this feature. But you can go in and do different start times. You can do different events like sunrise, sunset, lots of different cool options here. And then if you go to advanced, you can change the device password, you can change the date and time, you can reboot, and you can restore the camera. Let's just go back and I'll show you the PTZ functions. So if I press on the PT functions, now unlike some of the other cameras that I've tried, this is very responsive. I also love that you can go down here and control the speed. If you speed that up, this thing is crazy fast. So I've turned the speed up completely. Now if I go back and go to that PTZ, this thing just moves. Now full bore is way too fast, but you can get the idea, which is great that you can control the different speeds of your PTZ. I'm going to go back down, and it's nice and smooth, and you can see how that telephoto lens down below works. Let's just go back to the vehicles, and I'll show you how that zoom works. All right, so you can see the vehicle up above, but then if I zoom in, now that vehicle's pretty far away from the camera, but you can see I can get that clarity with that 4K telephoto lens. I can also zoom in on the top image, but you can see it's not as clear as the telephoto down below. So if I've got both examples there, like the graphics on that truck, you can see how much clearer it is with the telephoto lens. So that's a great example of the zoom. All right, that's the Reolink app. Okay, moving on to my review. What do I think of the Reolink Argus track? We're going to do pros and cons. We're going to start with the pros. I love the design of this camera. It's small, it's very well made, and I really like the mounting bracket. It's a little unique compared to others, but it looks cool and it's very functional. I like the quarter turn and then the security screw. Very easy to put it on there, and it really looks nice. 4K resolution, what else can you ask for? I love the dual lens, and I love that 6x zoom. With that telephoto lens, normally it's so easy to lose detail when you're zooming. This camera does it really well. I found the auto tracking to be very accurate. I really liked it, especially that it's both lenses. So when it fixates on an object, it follows it, and it did that very well. Another pro is the night vision. I love the two options, and I also love the distance. 50 feet in color, 98 feet in black and white. You normally have to go with a professional grade wired system to get 98 feet of night vision. Now, yes, it's black and white for 98 feet, but that's still awesome that we've got that option in a Wi-Fi camera. Now, this is never going to blow my socks off on a Wi-Fi camera, but the two-way audio on this was pretty decent. Take a listen. Testing, testing. How does this sound? How does this sound? Can you hear me? How's the clarity? Now, this has an audible light and sound alarm, and again, take a listen. I think the alarm would scare somebody away a little bit more than the voice audio, but hey, we'll take what we can get, right? No matter what. It's a very proactive way to scare somebody before they even get to your house. As we discussed, the Reolink app in itself is loaded with features. I love that app, so that's a definite pro. The alerts for the people, vehicles, and pets. We've got all three right outside our window here. They were very timely and they were very accurate. As soon as it's on a vehicle, I got the alert on my watch and my phone. Same with people and pets, and that's what you want. The time-lapse feature is cool. Now, me personally, I love this feature, especially living downtown in Omaha. We used to have a penthouse with an awesome view down here, and Nest had a time-lapse feature, and I loved it. And it's not too often you see that time-lapse feature in other Wi-Fi cameras, but this one has it, and it's very cool. I love that we got free local storage. Even at 128 gig, that's still pretty decent, but hey, it's free, and that's all that matters. All right, moving on to the cons. First up, we have the solar panel. This isn't a strike against the actual camera, just the solar panel itself. It's a little flimsy. For full disclosure, when I first installed this, like I said, I installed the camera upside down to test the vertical and horizontal flipping within the app. Now, when I turned it right side up, I had to adjust the solar panel, and when I did that, and maybe it's my fault, but I broke the solar panel. It was a little flimsy at the junction point where the mount goes into the solar panel itself, and it broke. So you'll notice throughout my testing, I had to move it, and that's why, because I couldn't reattach the mount. And then the solar panel itself is a little bit of a con, just having a big bulky solar panel. I don't necessarily like that. I don't like having the cable showing between the solar panel and the camera. I wish this camera had a built-in solar panel. There are some other brands out there doing it, so I hope Reolink does it very soon. I have faith that they will, but I wish it was built in. I don't like the actual solar panel itself, just aesthetically. This isn't so much a con, more of a heads up. If for some reason you have to install the camera upside down and you go in the app and flip it like I did at first just to test it, keep in mind that tilt isn't going to be as good upside down. So for example, when I had it out there, one thing I noticed is I couldn't actually get the camera to tilt down to actually see my balcony until I flipped it right side up. So again, that's more of an FYI than an actual con. One thing I don't like, and it's a thing when you're talking about wide angle cameras, is how concave the image is. It takes some getting used to. It almost looks like you're looking at the Earth from space just because it's so rounded. I don't necessarily like that. I like a nice flat image, but sometimes you can't help it when you get these telephoto lenses and these wide angle lenses. And now it's broken record time. We've got Google, we've got Lady A from Amazon, but no Apple Home. How many times do I have to say this? Again, not Reolink's fault. Apple makes it very hard to get that certification for HomeKit and Apple Home. It is what it is. Hopefully Matter saves us all someday when cameras become a category. I'll believe it when I see it. All right, that's it. Those are my pros and cons for the Reolink Argus Track. Overall, I really love this camera. It feels very premium. I think some people might think it's expensive, but when you take the discount that they have right now, it's not expensive at all considering what you get. Loaded with features, and again, just feels well made, including the mounting bracket. The only thing that I would negate that is the solar panel, but as far as the camera goes, very well made, very worth the price. Plus you're getting the solar panel with it. So if you factor that in with the price, I think it's a great value. But man, everything from the 4K resolution to the two lenses, the night vision, all that stuff packed in, this is a great buy. So I would totally recommend this camera. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on Reolink? Have you tried this camera? What did you think? Are you thinking about buying it? I say go for it. All right. So thanks for watching as usual. To all my subscribers out there, past, present, or future, I say it in every video. I love you. Thank you for the support. You're awesome. Keep coming back for more. And until the next video, peace and love.